morning, Hawks. Happy Hat Day. My name is Jordan Sievers.
And I'm Jake Flores.
And you're watching another episode of
Hawk Talk. Hey, you know what would be really cool to see today?
Maybe we could see what the water polo boys are doing for fun nowadays.
Did you just read my mind?
Jake, this is scripted.
Oh, let's get to it then.
Our sports teams have faced many challenges due to COVID-19. Let's take a look at how the water polo team has turned to surfing during this time.
Just with every sport, we've seen that we've had a lot of restrictions and a lot of difficulties and obstacles with the high infection rates as they are. We also have not been able to swim for about half of the entire quarantine.
Through quarantine, surfing together as a team has been a way for us to maintain unity and kind of spend our time together as much as we can because we're not getting as much pool time.
We've thought that as a team, it's a great bonding experience too, because you're out there on the water and it's just you and the waves. There's no other distractions, there's no social media, there's no people around you most of the time, and it's a really spiritual experience too.
Being able to get up and surf and hang out with my friends and go have a good time while still trying to get better and see the best that I can be is something that I truly enjoy, because who doesn't like a challenge, right?
You're just kind of in another world. You forget everything else around you. Nothing else really matters. There's no pandemic, there's no school, there's no job. It's just you and the wave, and everything around you is water. But at the same time, you can just feel the energy around you, just nature kind of giving you a hug almost.
After you keep doing it and you persist at it, it becomes something different than just getting out there. It gives you a feeling, gives you an experience that truly not everyone's going to get to experience.
Next up, we have a special segment for El Dorado Hawk legend Mr. Ramos, who recently passed away.
In dedication to his memory, this next one's for him.
Dave Ramos and his wife Helen have been residents of Placentia since 1970. 6 of his children attended El Dorado High School, and he was a big supporter of our school's activities. Mr. Ramos had an undying love for the school and demonstrated it with his support and loyalty to the black and gold. In 1999, Mr. Ramos donated a bell in honor of the passing of his grandson to award the winner of the El Dorado Valencia football games. Recently, Mr. Ramos unfortunately passed away while fighting coronavirus, but his legendary Hawk pride will never be forgotten. He was 91 years old. Be sure to keep Mr. Ramos in your thoughts. We know his spirit will be at every bell game cheering on the Golden Hawks.
As you know, it's a long weekend, and this Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
We made a special segment talking about the importance he has on all of us.
My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
He was selfless and passionate, and somebody who did what they believed was right, even if maybe that wasn't popular.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a civil rights activist who rose to prominence during the 50s and 60s.
He's basically the father of the modern civil rights movement, which started the decision in Brown versus Board of Education, which desegregated public schools. And then Dr. King, through his work with the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, brought attention to the issues that were facing not only African Americans, but all minorities.
He showed that nonviolent protests could be effective in terms of making real and meaningful change.
Because he was such a great speaker, he was able to influence so many people who maybe would not have been influenced otherwise. He was part of the Montgomery bus boycott early on in his career, and then as the civil rights movement grew, he spoke to larger and larger crowds. We know the March on Washington in 1963.
He was arrested for violating one of the laws in one of his protests, and he was placed in jail and read a newspaper where a lot of these white pastors in the city of Birmingham were criticizing him, saying, "What are you doing? Oh, you're a minister, you're a pastor, you should not be rabble-rousing and getting yourself locked up. You need to be patient, you need to wait for change to come." And he grabbed the newspaper and a pencil and literally wrote out this entire letter where he said, "With all due respect, I've heard the word wait my entire life, and there's no more waiting to be done." He says, "Justice too long delayed is justice denied." and I can't just sit here and wait for something to change. I need to be the one to go out there and lead it.
He was one of the first. Being somebody who's, the first to do anything, you're oftentimes looked at as you set the precedent, you set the example for those to follow. So I think that's why when people think of Dr. King, they think of that I Have a Dream speech, even though there were plenty of other things that he was responsible for. Because that was on such a huge stage, that's really kind of what people remember. I Have a Dream speech actually is from sermons that he would give when he was actually preaching. So it wasn't something that was brand new when he presented. It was something that he had talked about before in his earlier life as a preacher.
I definitely do not think we have seen Martin Luther King Jr.'s dreams play out to their fullest potential. I think that there's been some remarkable progress, but I think we still have a long way to go to get to that promised land that he talked about. I think that one could be played out in your everyday life of taking the tenets of what he cared about, equality, justice, and living those out to the fullest extent in your own personal life through the way that you treat other people and interact with the world around you.
Well, if you're passionate about the things that you care about, kind of expressing that passion, I think the fact that he was willing to do whatever it took, to accomplish the goals that he had set out.
Despite the seemingly inches of progress, he never gave up and he never stopped fighting for others, and I think that's something we can also take away.
Free at last! Free at last! Thank God Almighty! We are free at last!
Hey, Jordan!
This is extra A's, isn't it?
You're a witch! How did you read my mind again?
Extra A's.
Finals are coming up on the 27th and 28th. Cohort A students will attend on Monday, then all students are home for the rest of the week with no school on Friday.
There will be no school on January 18th as we are giving honor to Martin Luther King Jr.
Hey juniors, remember that the PSAT finals are on Tuesday, January 26th on campus. Good luck!
Planning to try out some sports? Please email the coach according to the sport you'd like to try out for. Here are the dates.
Seniors, are you planning to attend Santiago Canyon College in the fall? There is an application workshop being held on January 20th at 12:30. Email Ms. Hamilton for the link and more information.
Cocoa and Creme, study session for finals with live tutors and hot cocoa, happening on January 21st, 5 to 7 p.m. Make sure to check your email and EDHS Instagram for the Zoom link. Hope to see you there.
Thank you for watching yet another show with us. My name's Jordan.
And I'm Jake, and you just watched Hawk Talk.